Step inside a medieval cathedral, and you're surrounded by gold, light, and silence. But look through the ceiling to the roof outside, and you'll find snarling, bat-winged stone monsters staring down through the rain. It is an architectural paradox. The builders placed the ultimate symbols of terror and chaos on the very center of their religious world. The hollowed-out mouth of this beast serves as a functional plumbing pipe. In architectural terms, a carving only earns the name gargoyle if it actually spouts water. Otherwise, it is simply a grotesque. The word itself originates from the French gargoyle, meaning throat, a literal description of how the stone behaves during a storm. To the architects, the destructive force of the rain was a more immediate threat to the cathedral than any spiritual demon. This diagram shows the danger of that water. It seeps into the soft limestone mortar, slowly dissolving the structural integrity of the walls over time. To prevent the building from collapsing, engineers had to find a way to throw that water several feet clear of the foundations. They masked these pipes in monstrous shapes to evoke the legend of La Gargouille, a water-spewing dragon defeated by the Bishop Saint Romain. By mounting the dragon's head to the wall, they signaled that the beast had been tamed. The roof's weight creates an outward horizontal thrust. Placing a heavy stone carving directly on the edge forces that pressure straight down, stabilizing the building. In England, these non-spouting carvings are called hunky-punks. Engineering dictated the stone's weight and position, but it didn't require the stone to scream. The medieval world relied on apotropaic magic, the belief that the only way to scare a demon is to place a more terrifying beast on your perimeter. They fought spiritual fire with fire. Source image 9 shows the green man, a fusion of human features and woodland foliage. By including these ancient pagan spirits in the architecture, the church demonstrated that the old gods of the forest had been conquered and assimilated. For an illiterate population, the cathedral exterior functioned as a poor man's Bible. Priests pointed to these terrifying faces to illustrate the consequences of sin, using the roof as a visual sermon. These carvings formed a psychological border, separating the chaotic, dangerous world outside from the divine order waiting within the church doors. Source image 8 captures the labor behind these watchers. While the religious art inside the cathedral was strictly controlled, the stonemasons working high on the roof enjoyed nearly total creative freedom. They used that freedom to take permanent, satirical revenge against corrupt local officials and tax collectors, turning their faces into the pipes that vomited the city's rainwater. Source image 10 shows that this rebellion extended to the church furniture. These comical and bizarre faces were hidden under choir seats, literally placed beneath the clergy who sat there. In the 14th century, the art turned somber. After the Black Death, the satirical jokes were replaced by skeletal, agonizing figures that reflected the mass trauma of the plague. The stonework evolved into an externalized diary of the people who built them, a permanent record of human grief and societal grievance. By the Renaissance, architects rejected the chaos of the Gothic style. As source image 6 shows, they replaced stone monsters with clean lines and simple lead pipes. These buildings sat decaying until 1831, when Victor Hugo's novel sparked a romantic revival, bringing a new generation back to the crumbling Gothic cathedrals. But the most famous face of Notre Dame, the brooding Stryx, is actually a 19th century deception. It was created by a restoration architect during Hugo's era, making it a modern invention rather than a medieval original. That tradition of satirical masonry continues today. High on the Washington National Cathedral, builders included this carving of Darth Vader, acknowledging a modern pop culture villain in the stone. Across every century, we update the face of the gargoyle to reflect whatever our current generation defines as ultimate evil. Today, our public squares are dominated by glass and steel. We have removed the visual presence of monsters from the places where we live and work. But without a physical stone beast on a wall to look at, our anxieties have shifted. We have moved our gaze away from the roofline and toward our screens, where our modern monsters live in digital spaces and personal neuroses. The gargoyles were a way to acknowledge the storm. By placing the terrifying on the exterior walls, the builders kept the interior of the church a place of refuge, a reminder that a sanctuary only endures if you are willing to face what stands at the gates.